Hey, I wanted to come today and talk about what do we do after the protests, right? Because there will become a time where we should have a plan of action to make things happen. And again, my name is Chalet JeanBaptiste. I am a college professor. I teach English and communications and African American literature. And one of the things that I'm thinking about with this movement is because I'm the daughter of a Black male police officer who is now retired from Brooklyn, New York. And my mom was a guidance counselor in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. At the time, one of the roughest areas at the time and during that period in the 90s. And just saw her do some miraculous transformational things, both her and my father. I really grew up with this kind of love for my people and just really love for community. And so I was thinking about looking at all the news coverage and everything. What do we do after this moment? And so a couple of things. I think what we need to do is tackle the institutionalized racism that exists today, right? And how do we tackle it? We need to tackle it through the economics. So the way that they keep us down is by keeping us economically oppressed and making sure that we don't have access to the things that they have access to, educational access, health access, you name it. And so one of the things that I think we need to tackle is the police unions. The police unions are a problem, okay? So yes, a lot of Democrats are pro-unions, and that's great. But when it comes to the police unions, if you do your research, you will see that millions and millions and millions of dollars are spent lobbying policies that often go against and disenfranchise and are meant to bully Black people. And so we need to try as much as we can to dismantle the police unions, which encourage the culture of police brutality. Okay, but if we do not get to the police unions and demand that they change the culture within them, then things are just going to keep on happening, right? Also, I see a lot of stars coming out saying, I'm giving money to the Black Lives Movement. I'm giving money to this movement. I'm giving money to Black Lives Matter. I love it. I love it. I love the fact that people are putting their money where their mouth is, right? Because it shows that they really support the cause. But one thing that I've noticed is that I'm more worried about people supporting movements and not supporting communities. So we can get millions of dollars that goes to movements, but where does that money actually go? Los Angeles, I think the mayor said that he was going to redivest money from police departments back into the African American communities. And my first question was, how? How are you going to do that? What is that going to look like? Because we have seen too often where other cultures will set up programs that were supposed to help people in the community. And guess what? It was so wrong for the community, okay? We need people who are invested in the community, who belong in the community, who live in the community, to be a part of the community organizations and programs. The same thing with police officers. The reason why we're having this problem is because they hire police officers that live in the suburbs. If 90% of them live outside of the communities, well, when they come into the community, they don't know the people. They don't know anything about them. They don't even know the community of policing, right? So there's a lot of fear involved when it comes to that. So we need people in our communities running these programs because they know what's best to tackle when it comes to making the community better. Okay, so it's great to give money, but where is that money going? Is it going to financial literacy? Is it going for education? Is it going for college scholarship? Is it going to increase the amount of educational money resources that's given to the schools? If you look at educational data, the schools that receive the most money are schools in the best neighborhoods that are often of children that are not minorities. Okay, so I really feel like we need to make sure that we equal that playing field, and that's the way that education it helps out. I used to teach at a school in Dallas, Texas, in Carter High School, and they gave us 15 books for a class of 30 students. How am I supposed to get them to read the book that way? It was ridiculous. Okay. So we need to also make sure that these people are reinvesting in Black-owned businesses and creating sustainable Black-owned businesses. Okay. Because I think that a lot of times this is a cliche, but unless we own something in our communities, our homes, our businesses, we will continue to be at the bottom of the playing field. So it's great, Drew Brees, that you're sorry now for not understanding. But you know what would make it better? If you take your time out personally to reinvest in African Americans and Blacks in the community that you serve. So you're in New Orleans, Plenty of black people live there, okay? Let's see what you're going to do. Are you going to start football camps for black people in those communities and actually be a part of them, not just do a photo op once or twice to show up? Are you going to start a scholarship program? Are you going to do education literacy training programs now so you can begin to know some of these kids in the communities and see what they deal with, and maybe go visit some of their homes and talk to their mothers and talk to their fathers and educate yourself about what's going on? That's when I see real change happen, and that's when I know you're really sorry. Okay, expose the racists. I know people are saying, oh yeah, don't put those videos up. No, but they're important. We need to expose people who have this thinking that, I'm so sorry that it's called the Karens, right? Because every Karen that I know is a great person. But yes, we need to expose them, okay? Because it shows that there is still a remnant or a lot of people out there who are racist. Okay, and the more that they get hit by the pockets and the more that we expose them, the more that they will stop doing this and think it's okay to do it. But we also, with that exposure, I think we need education, because too many times we want to hurt people. We want to get back at them, but we don't want to educate them on why this is wrong, why we are upset, why we are rioting, why some of us are looting. What is the core reason of this? What is the root of the issue? And we need to also change the institutional cultures. Right? I think that's a big problem. I was part of a mentoring program called the I Have a Dream program. I went from when I was a kid to young, and I loved the guy who ran the program, Paul Jones. He was sincere. You can tell he was really for the kids. He was a white man. He was a rich white man. He ran to the investments. He came to see us every week. He did programs with us. He gave us scholarships. He really, really wanted us to succeed. But then we were all paired with our little mentors within the program. And I was paired with this, I would say, a Karen, okay? She didn't care nothing about me. She was just doing it because that was what she was supposed to do, okay? She didn't want to get to know anything about me. She never took me anywhere. She never did anything about me. She would just say, write your goals down. What college did you want to go to? And you can tell that she was not really in it for me. So enough of other cultures, which we need. We need other cultures. I believe in other cultures mentoring all black people and African American people. I believe in that. But what we also need is people who really care. Okay, people who really, really want to see change in our communities. And sometimes that's hard to see. And because of Candace Owens, we know that all skin ain't kin, okay? Just having a black face in a place is not the way to go, okay? Because a lot of people are saying now, hire black people. Yeah, I can tell you a lot of black people that became CEOs and didn't care anything about the change for black people. I can tell you a lot of black people that got into big positions and never reached back to get another black person. I can tell you a lot of black people that became CEOs and CFOs and COOs and own businesses. And once they got there, they never reached back to help anybody else because they had reached their position and they were satisfied. So we need to change that. We need to really put people in positions that care about us, our people, our communities, and really want to inspire change. Okay, so we need to change the culture of this, like we just put a black person in a place. Okay, a black face in a place is not enough. And Candace Owens is showing us that. Omarosa showed us that. Okay, we need to have people that care about us, our communities, our children, our needs. We need people who care about our education. We need people who are willing to reach back and get people out of the hood, the ghetto, whatever, to give them another mindset, to give them tools. Elon Musk, you love us? Then good. You know what? You need to go out there, grab some of our youth, teach them how to engineer, how to build cars. So that way we have a skill that we can have for the rest of our lives. You love us, white people. You love us, people with all of us. So you know what? Help us out. I never forget when I was working in a T.I. Creffer financial firm. It wasn't the black person that helped me. Okay, it was a white Jewish lady that gave me projects and said, no, you're going to run this. So it's one thing to put people a charge of projects that are black and that are minority, but it's another thing to give them the power to institute it. So she gave me the power to institute, and that was a white woman who did that. And we are still friends to this day. So I love the fact that all races, all cultures are in this fight for us. I will just say that we need to have an institutional change, and we need to have the power to institute that change.